Hey, digital investors, welcome back to another video where we go over everything that is happening inside of the crypto space. We do have some green for today. Prices are definitely not where they once were. We also yesterday finally have slipped over into greed. Yesterday we were at 65 in greed. Today we are in 71. And after being in fear for so long, we know we were in neutral for maybe a week about, and now we are starting to touch that greed. And it's honestly amazing just how quick it happened. I really didn't think we would be into greed this quick after getting into neutral, but it seems like the crypto space is always just moving faster than we expect it to. With that said though, guys, we do have some good and some not so good news for today. So let's just start on it. We'll start here with the Senate passing a vote on anti-crypto infrastructure bill. If you guys are frequent viewers of the show and you would like to show some support, then tapping the like button really helps a ton to push this video in the YouTube algorithm. And if you're trying to stay up to date on everything going on in the crypto space, then make sure you hit the subscribe button. So we won't spend too much time on this because I am sure that you guys have seen this literally everywhere. I just want to touch on, the most basic points. So the Senate has passed the infrastructure bill with a majority of 69 to 30. The bill contains no amendments to the problematic provisions, forcing crypto brokers to complete KYC procedures and follow strict tax reporting rules. Although the Senate has passed the bill, there is still hope for the crypto sector as the House of Representatives has to vote on the bill. And I guess that's really the only option left is just that option. And I also wanted to show you guys this because, oh wow, senator who opposed crypto amendment is backed by bankers. What a surprise. The crypto community has slammed Senator Shelby for blocking a critical amendment to the infrastructure bill. And I mean, what else do you expect these guys to do? Politicians, all they're good for is, going in and messing things up. So let's check this out because this is honestly quite comical. Shelby was the only member of the Senate to block a crypto-friendly compromise amendment to the infrastructure bill yesterday. The amendment changed the definition of a crypto broker, an entity that, quote, effectuates crypto transfers. However, the definition was so broad that it could potentially apply to proof of work miners, proof of stake validators, and protocol developers, basically screwing everybody in the crypto industry. To change the broker definition and exclude non-custodial parties, various senators reached an agreement after days of deliberation. The amendment needed unanimous consent from the Senate, which meant that just one senator was able to hold the amendment to proceed further. Scrolling down here, the senator's financial donors, this is basically getting into, who backs him. So his financial donors who may view crypto and DeFi as a threat for their sector. His list of donors include defense contractors like Lockheed Martin and Boeing, as well as major finance players like Citadel and MetLife. Rejecting a crypto-friendly amendment is an unusual move given his, and his here they're referring to the Senator Shelby, given his track record of supporting tax cuts and protesting against attempts by Democrats to increase taxes. He has also actively promoted financial privacy, a core tenet of cryptocurrency technology. I've also seen some things that I guess this senator had an amendment or something of his own. I think it was like 50 million to go to defense spending, and I could be wrong, and honestly, who cares? Like, this stuff is just so stupid. But I think it was like 50 million for defense spending, and it got denied. So people are saying, oh, maybe he denied it because of that. Whether or not that's the case, who knows and who cares? All you need to know at the end of the day is that every single one of these people are bought and paid for. They are going to do what puts money in their pocket, and they don't care not one bit about us. Democrat, Republican, they don't give a shit about us. If you think these guys give 1 ounce about you, you must be like living in kindergarten. I really don't understand how people have, any faith in this system. At this point, everybody who is a crypto holder who likes crypto should be writing these guys, displaying that they have zero confidence in their ability to govern, because that is my personal opinion. I have zero confidence in this government's ability to govern, and they prove that over and over and over. Here we have at least 611 million stolen in massive cross-chain attack. Cross-chain protocol Poly Network has been hacked for 611 million in the largest DeFi hack to date. And this is from their Twitter page. They say, "We are sorry to announce that Poly Network was attacked on Binance Chain, Ethereum, and Ox Polygon." They also added that we call on miners of affected blockchain and crypto exchanges to blacklist tokens coming from the above addresses. They also say the root cause of the hack was a cryptography issue, which is not usually the case. So some interesting stuff. Anyways, just wanted to let you guys be aware of this, and really always be aware of hacks and things like that. Make sure you're holding coins or holding them in places where you're not going to be at risk for things like this, because stuff like this really does suck. Here we have American cinema giant AMC is now accepting Bitcoin, which is pretty crazy, because whenever I go to the movies, the theater in my area, I believe, is an AMC. So it's pretty crazy. Maybe sometime soon, here they say it's by 2022, maybe we'll be able to spend some Bitcoin in these AMC theaters. So AMC has announced that it is planning to begin the acceptance of Bitcoin for payments for a movie ticket by 2022. The announcement was made by the cinema CEO, and according to him, the cinema chain intends to ensure necessary infrastructure required for the acceptance of Bitcoin for payments for online movie tickets are in place before the end of this year and can commence its acceptance next year. However, he emphasized that the demand for acceptance of crypto for the purchase of movie tickets from the cinema's customers is significantly very high. So it seems as though they are implementing this because they really believe that their customers would actually do this, would actually spend their Bitcoin on a movie ticket. Now, I don't know anyone who's out there is actually spending Bitcoin on a movie ticket. Why would you want to spend your Bitcoin on a movie ticket? But hey, I guess people are. This is a thing, right? People want to spend their crypto. I get it. You guys already know. If I've talked about this before, I will definitely not be spending my crypto on things like movie tickets or to shop on Amazon. I will be giving them all of my US dollars. The Bitcoin and the cryptocurrencies, those are going to stay in my hands. Aside from the adoption of Bitcoin payments, which understandably featured prominently in the CEO's announcement, he also revealed that the firm plans to open in over 12 new locations across the US, Europe, the Middle East before this year runs out, which is very interesting because during mainly 2020, they had very bad revenue, right? Here they outlined that they went from $5.38 per share to 71 cents per share, which is pretty crazy, and that was mainly due to the thing that must not be named on YouTube because we're not allowed to talk about it, or very bad things happen to channels. So after that, their numbers were really down, but now I guess they are doing great, and they are looking at opening up more locations, and they're looking at accepting Bitcoin. So they have had a pretty huge turnaround from last year. Here we have Ray Dalio makes easy decision between gold and Bitcoin. Also goes over whether or not he would want Bitcoin or bonds, and the relationship between gold and Bitcoin, which is pretty interesting. So let's just hop right into it. He says, if you put a gun to my head and you said I can only have one, I would choose gold. And in this case, he's talking about gold versus Bitcoin. So if it came down to just gold or Bitcoin, he could only have one, he's going to choose gold. And he goes on to say, I own a very small amount of Bitcoin. I'm not a big owner. There are certain assets that you want to own to diversify the portfolio, and Bitcoin is something like a digital gold. Now, honestly, his answer didn't really shock me. Like, it's Ray Dalio. He's coming from a different generation, a different mindset. Keep in mind, he only just got on the Bitcoin bandwagon. Whether or not he's lying, I'm sure they say things when they need to say them. But nonetheless, I mean, for what he makes public, his answer doesn't really surprise me. It would honestly surprise me if he did pick Bitcoin over gold. I think that would be most surprising. In May, Dalio said he preferred Bitcoin over bonds, while warning that the cryptocurrency's success could turn into its undoing. He says the more we create savings in it, the more you might say, I'd rather have Bitcoin than the bond. Personally, I'd rather have Bitcoin than a bond. The more that happens, then it goes into Bitcoin and it doesn't go into credit. Then they lose control of that, and that's a risk. So even Dalio saying he'd rather have Bitcoin than a bond, which is pretty crazy. Dalio's choice of gold over Bitcoin comes as the former is down over 4% this month, while the latter is up nearly 10% in the same time frame. Yeah, guys, gold has basically been dumping recently. They say Bitcoin and gold are currently showing a potential inverse correlation, which is super interesting because they make the case that Bitcoin is digital gold. So it's very odd that Bitcoin being quote unquote digital gold, the store of value, has an inverse relationship to the actual yellow gold metal. Interesting. Nonetheless, Bitcoin and gold investors saw very opposite price performances to close out the trading week. Bitcoin surged to above 43,000 as gold has swung downward, seeing its biggest decline since mid-June. The two are very much behaving inversely to one another. Again, I do think that is surprising, right? For Bitcoin, which is supposed to be digital gold, store of value, it is very interesting that Bitcoin continues to skyrocket while gold continues to not really do much as of right now, selling off. Here we have popular crypto strategist predicts huge breakouts for Bitcoin and Ethereum and says one altcoin is set for fireworks. But as we know, right, if Bitcoin's going to be making all-time highs and Ethereum is going to be making all-time highs and all that stuff, you know, all of these altcoins are going to run hard. And that's very exciting. So this goes on to say not much between us, and this is talking about Bitcoin against the US dollar. Not much between where we are now and $50,000 Bitcoin. I've got my feet propped up and I'm in no rush. I had that line drawn for a minute and de-risked accordingly and then bought the dip. I love this game. And he shows off this little chart right here. Then he goes over to Ethereum. He says the leading smart contract platform is still set for a breakout even after hitting temporary resistance at around 3,100. And he said it wouldn't be so wild. And it seems as though he has this Ethereum against the Tether and this kind of ascending wedge here, basically showing that he thinks it's going to come back and tap the bottom of this ascending wedge before breaking out and going on to set new all-time highs. This analyst says that new all-time highs for Ethereum are not so far away. Looking at Ethereum versus Bitcoin, the pair has ignited a strong breakout and is now primed to surge at least 40% from its current value of 0.07 Bitcoin, worth about $3,000. He says, I've been buying Ethereum dips every time I want to long Bitcoin. I'm expecting a strong rally after crossing 0.068 BTC. Strong breakout on ETH. This is going much higher. And yeah, we do have those resistance taps. And now it seems as though we have broken out. So that is also pretty cool. And then he goes over this altcoin. He takes a look at sushi. He says sushi finally waking up. Fireworks over $9.25. And so he has this line drawn, which indicates roughly around $9.25, basically saying once we get above that, you can expect some fireworks. And like I said in the beginning of this, you know, once we have Bitcoin breaking all-time highs, you have Ethereum breaking all-time highs, you know, that is going to do nothing but trigger some fireworks for the entire altcoin space, which is very, very exciting because, you know, it's not even the utility, right? If that actually happens because of Bitcoin and Ethereum, that's not even the utility run. It could be just another speculation run, which means we get another chance, just like in 2017, before the massive utility run, which is, I think, what most of us are really waiting for, because that is probably going to be the big one. We already touched on the fear and greed index. Like you guys, like I said, we are at 71 in greed. Let's check out the top 10 prices for today. We have Bitcoin sitting at $45.5, Ethereum at $3,100, Binance Coin at $371, Cardano at $1.59, XRP at 83 cents, Dogecoin at a quarter, Polkadot at $20, Uniswap at $29, and Bitcoin Cash at $590. So we have some consistent green going across the board once again, which is nice to see. And with that said, that is the update for today. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure you tap the like button. If you're trying to stay up to date on the crypto market, we go over Bitcoin, altcoins, and everything going on in the space. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on that. You guys already know this is not financial advice, so don't take it as such. I'm just documenting the daily crypto news and this crypto bull run, and anything I express is just my opinions and nothing else. And with that said, guys, I will see you on the next one. Have a great day, everybody.